close. It's 144. It's our 100.
How long have you been hanging on to that? For 143 episodes?
Well, it sounds like me, no, but it just came to me. Yeah, 144. Why do we even know that, Lisa? This is a problem. We've got everything in our brains we don't need, and then when they want us to remember another password, it's just, full.
I totally get that. Why do I remember entire songs from the 70s, but not what I had for lunch yesterday?
Right, and not even good songs.
Oh, by the way, you're Aaron Davis.
Yeah, and by the way, you're Lisa Brandt, before we forget.
Hey, you might have real estate news.
I'm glad I'm sitting down. Yes, after 15, 16 months? I don't know, I've lost track, but trust me, Rob has not. It appears our house is sold. Yay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're still going to have to wait until their financing is all in order and stuff, but we're leaning into the optimism here, Lisa.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, you have to. We've never been this close to being finished with it. We're not going to open up the bottle of non-alcoholic champagne that we've been holding on to since, I don't know. I've had it since last year when we put the house on the market. Then I had it ready to go and chilled when I thought Kamala Harris was going to win the election. And then, so I've been waiting. We'll let you know if the chilled fake champagne will get opened. But thanks for your thoughts.
It's about freaking time. I mean, you had all of the little tchotchkes there that were supposed to bring you luck, and they all failed. So to heck with them. If I were you, I'd let them go with the house.
Yeah, and about 30% less than we originally listed it. So
30%?
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The market ebbs and flows, and this is the thing. Some of it's luck. Some of it's just bad luck. Some of it's just the way it is. But anyway, it's a gorgeous house. Someone's going to be very lucky to have it.
Well, we hope so. And it made me think, Lisa, after we had this transaction on the weekend, we started looking, and I even texted your husband, Derek, and I said, does she think I'm crazy? But I'll tell you, he said, no, she's excited for you. And I thought, that's a good husband and a good friend.
Well, it's the truth.
Yeah. Started looking at, God help us, cottages. Because we're in a condo now, and in my mind and in my heart and in my carry-on, I'm always looking for a place to escape to. There's so much that needs to be unpacked here, quite literally my carry-on. But do we ever stop searching or running? Or I guess there are people who are content where they are. I don't know how to do that.
It's different for everybody. And I guess what matters is if you're okay with it. It's the story you tell yourself. And as long as you're okay with it, and that's all that matters.
It's true. You're a good friend.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, we're all different, right? I thought I was going to spend the next few years traveling and going to see all sorts of places. And we went to Italy, and it was over 3 weeks, and I haven't wanted to go on a big trip since. And there's lots of places I want to see, but everybody's different. You have your own level of comfort with it, and I don't see it as a bad thing.
I judge it. I judge everything. I judge sleeping in the morning. I judge wanting to go away. But you know what? We're at this age where we're supposed to stop judging. That's what the internet's for. Which brings me to this, Lisa.
Yes.
Okay. I have seen a couple of threads talking about why would you stay in somebody's house or apartment or accommodations or whatever when you can stay in a hotel. And I answered it. I said I would choose Vrbo or Airbnb almost every time for reasons that have to do more with what's wrong with hotels. So Can we delve into this? Let me ask you, when you went on your long sojourn to Italy or any of the other places that you travel, generally speaking, what do you lean into?
I've done a bit of, I kind of ride the line in the middle because some of the places we stayed at were sort of hotel residences, so they weren't typical hotels. I like an Airbnb, but I think with a hotel, especially when it's overseas, it depends on where we're booking, the trust level I have. I like an Airbnb, except sometimes I'm a little concerned that I might not get what I'm looking at. You obviously prefer the Airbnb or Vrbo or whatever, right, to a hotel?
Depends on the circumstances. I think it's much like you're saying. If it's going to be, for example, a short-term stay, 1 or 2 nights or whatever, we've got a trip to Ontario booked, as you know, in just a few weeks. And it'll be either bunking with friends, like you in the Airbnb upstairs.
Right.
Hello.
Yes.
Can we let Rob stay in the Airbnb? Should we allow it?
Yes, there's plenty of room for Rob in the Airbnb.
Okay, thank you. Either bunking with friends or in a hotel, and it's only because it's one night in and out, and away you go. You know, leave your card keys on the front desk and scoot. But in the case of staying a week or so, I much prefer an Airbnb, even 3 nights and onward. And the reason is because hotels, you are subject to people-y people. I've been in hotels where kids are playing hockey in the hallways because they've got a tournament the next day.
Same, yeah.
Been in a hotel where somebody was auditioning for a porn flick. I am sure of it. The noise levels. Do you remember that? I told you the story about in Whistler.
Yes.
Yeah. I pounded on the wall and just screamed at the top of my lungs, "Shut up!" And then they all laughed over there and continued with whatever they were up to. It was so gross. So there are those kind of experiences, and doors slamming and conversations in the hallways. It's just people are so oblivious that, like at midnight, when you're walking and talking with your friend at full volume, there's somebody on the other side of that door trying to sleep. So when I posted that the reason I'll choose an Airbnb or renting in someone's home is because of hotel experiences, some smartass wrote, "You need better hotels." And I'm thinking, no, Whistler, you need to check yourself because I know exactly what I paid for that hotel. So it doesn't guarantee you're going to get anything better.
Right. One of the things that scares me, and this was a place that we stayed at that you rented, where there was let's say a lack of freshness in the air because of something that happened.
Oh, I know. Near Quadra, and it was time to clean out the septic tank.
Right, because it was near the end of the season, so we couldn't sit out on the one patio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't horrific and didn't ruin anything, but that's the kind of thing that concerns me when I'm renting somebody else's place. Something they may have gotten used to or don't think is a very big deal might bug me.
Yes, but on the other hand, Rob and I also rented a hotel room in a very nice inn on Salt Spring Island. It was the end of the season, and the septic tank was full. We got also... Maybe it's just us, Lisa. Maybe our coordinates are poo corners, and that's it. You know?
Certainly hope not.
Yeah, so... There are people who are also worried about security in Airbnbs. What if they've got cameras? I say, you know, if they've got cameras on me, then I pity them. But I understand that it can be randos running things.
Cameras have been found in hotels.
Yes.
In hotel rooms and all sorts of things, too.
Right.
I don't think that's just an Airbnb thing. Yeah, it's. I remember the Airbnb we stayed at in San Francisco, and they had us doing everything but painting the walls before we left.
This is a big thing that people have a problem with, is the list of demands when the guests leave.
And it was more than just taking out our own garbage and stuff. There were just tons of things. Start the laundry, do all this, make sure you wash that, on and on. And it was a little bit much.
Yeah, a hotel won't do that. Just leave your tip. And I still am trying for the world's best guest. I take off, you know, all the towels and everything and leave them all in a pile in the tub, because that's what a friend of mine who used to clean hotel rooms said that she preferred. So I always think of Susan when I do that. And don't forget the tip. I don't leave a tip in an Airbnb. Do you?
No, I don't, because I'm too busy tying up the garbage and doing the laundry and vacuuming under the couch. Yeah.
And painting the baseboards.
Right.
Stay, and I'm not even kidding about this, and I said it last week and I'll keep on saying it. Envy Pillow is the pillow that makes it feel like home wherever you go. And it's another reason, Lisa, why cheap and cheerful ends up in landfill, right?
Absolutely. The Envy pillow is built to last. It's built to bounce back, but not with memory foam. They've got their own thing going on. And I took mine to Lagoon City last weekend when I went to visit cousin Kim and her husband Jeff. And it just travels so well. You want to take it with you, and it'll last you a good long time.
I bet she was saying, oh, you really do travel with your pillow.
Yep. And she has one too.
Oh, good. Hi, Kim. Well, give them a try, or at least go to their website, Envy, ENVY, pillow.com. Be sure and use the code GF, same as Lisa's cousin. GF, not her initials, but you know what I mean. She got the discount too for 10% off.
Well, Tuesday morning, I was just sitting there minding my own business, and the news came out that Robert Redford had died, and we don't think of him as being 89 years old, but he was, and what an icon for our generation, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's the actor your mom had a crush on. He's the actor that we looked at and thought, how can anybody be so beautiful? I've seen him in a couple of Alfred Hitchcock's or Twilight Zones where he was just starting out, and you look at that chiseled jaw and you go, oh, that is beauty. And look what he became. Such an icon in the film industry, not only as an actor, but as a director, winning an Oscar for Ordinary People. And then, of course, setting up the whole Sundance Film Foundation and Institute and tradition that helped indie filmmakers so much.
You know what makes me kind of laugh is that he described himself as having a bit of a downer outlook on life. And one of his last statements that he made was about the Sundance Film Festival and how he wished everybody who was there just to network and sell stuff and all that kind of stuff would just stay away. He wanted it to be organic and be about the movies and the filmmakers, and it almost became like a fall fair or something,
yeah,
you know. And
a big old schmooze fest.
Right, and it was annoying him. He didn't want all that stuff to happen. He wanted it to be about the films, and what an amazing man. And, you know, you say he was the guy your mom had a crush on, or our moms had a crush on. I had a crush on him, too. In Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, I thought there was nobody that looked that good. Him and Paul Newman, of course. My goodness. And so we posted on the Gracefully and Frankly page, what was your favorite Robert Redford movie? And there's such a gamut. I mean, a lot of people saying The Way We Were. Maureen Lawson was one. Mm-hmm. Jane Goodall said Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. The Natural.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't
The
that
Natural.
great?
Yes. Yes.
The Electric Horseman. That was another one that I really liked with Jane Fonda. And a bunch of people have mentioned that as well. Patty Schneider did. Many other people. Mally Bickley mentioned Butch Cassidy, Ordinary People, All the President's Men.
Oh, yeah. Yes, with Dustin Hoffman.
Out of Africa, a few people have mentioned. And a movie that was actually ripped apart when it came out was him and The Great Gatsby, but that's on some people's favorite list as well. And The Sting. Oh, The Sting. Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Funny, you don't mention one that I thought of course, on our trip across the mountains to Kananaskis. A River Runs Through It.
Right.
When you saw him and Brad Pitt together, it's just like, oh my God, Pitt is Redford 2.0. And you combine that with the natural rugged beauty of Alberta, where it was shot. And of course, it's set in Montana. But oh my gosh,
And he had a way about him when it came to making movies, because A River Runs Through It isn't exactly a fast-paced film.
Nope.
And you sort of sat in it. And I remember the first time I watched it thinking, this thing is so slow. But it was me that was too fast. And once I settled into it, it just became beautiful.
It is beautiful. He was beautiful. And more than that, he was a good person. He put his money where his mouth was in terms of the environment.
89 years of it, but it's never enough.
Yeah. And, you know, Rob and I were talking about this when we woke up to the news, because that was the first thing that I saw Tuesday. And he said, well, this is going to happen as we age. All of these stars. You know, we've already had to lose stars way too young. Like for us, it was John Lennon or Malcolm Jamal Warner died way too young. But these older ones, the ones that were there the whole time we grew up, of course they're going to pass. But you just go, oh.
Yeah, and then there's a moment when you go, he was how old?
Right.
It's easy to forget that they're aging along with us. You think of him, I have in my mind's eye Robert Redford from The Electric Horseman. I mean, I've seen pictures of him since then, but that's kind of what sticks in your head.
Yeah, and the cream turtleneck from The Way We Were. Yeah, just so beautiful. And I don't know if you found this, Lisa, just to put a bow on this, when you were posting to our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page, what photo of Redford to use? Do you use the one from the 1960s or the 70s or the 80s or the most recent one where he's been seen in his 80s? I don't know. It's interesting when someone has lived such a full life that you have decades from which to choose your particular memory.
Well, you know which one I chose? The one that didn't have any copyright attached to it, so I wouldn't get sued. That is exactly the truth.
I love that you think that, the big guns would come after us, just a little Facebook page for a photo.
Oh, honey, I was come after on my website. I know what I'm talking about. Yes.
For what? Tell me. Spill the tea.
I was using a photo that was under copyright, and I didn't realize it, and they came after me and said if I don't take it down, I was going to have to pay, I forget what it was, $5,000 US or something.
Ugh.
And you've never seen anything come down so fast. As my aunt would say, I ran so fast you could smell hair burning. And I took that thing down.
I've used that saying of hers more often than I can tell you.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, no, they have ways of scraping the internet to find out if anybody's got this stuff. So I take it very seriously.
Well, here's a guy who's been sued more times than we can count, and who knows if more is going to come out of it, but we're talking about Charlie Sheen and the new Netflix documentary, 2 parts, called AKA Charlie Sheen. It was like watching a car crash, Lisa, but some good things came out of it. First off, what surprised you?
I thought I knew a lot more about his life than I did. I'm surprised that he is still alive. And the fact that the real guy seems to be so calm and measured. The most recent out there Charlie Sheen we saw was Winning and Tiger Blood and all that.
Yeah.
And now that he's been sober for many years and he's just chilling out, he's much calmer than I thought he would be. What about you?
First off, I agree wholeheartedly that this man should not be alive. Given everything he did to his body, all the times that he had overdoses and was rushed to the hospital. And I completely dismissed him, wouldn't even talk about him during the Tiger Blood period, even though he came to Toronto, and there's quite a bit of footage of him there in Nathan Phillips Square. I feel so much for his co-star in 3 Men and a Baby. No, sorry.
2.5 Men. John Cryer?
Right, that one. See, that's how little I've paid attention to Charlie Sheen. Yeah, to John Cryer, because it's like he was on the Titanic and everything was going great, and his co-star was aiming the ship toward the iceberg.
Yeah.
I really, really felt for him. Everything became so out of control. It reminded me of just how dangerous addiction is, how you can never just have that one glass or that one hit or that one anything because you're right back on the path where you left off. And it also showed to me what an incredible father Martin Sheen is.
Oh, yeah. Just such relentless support and yet not enabling, but always there to pick him up. Always, always.
Yeah, incredible. And the pain that parents go through when their child is in the throes of addiction.
Well, that's like they say, it's the whole family, right? It's not just the one person.
It's what we thought of when Matthew Perry died, is just how Keith and Suzanne, his parents, must have waited for that phone call for so many years and dreaded it, and then it finally comes. So that is on Netflix. It's a ride, I'll tell you what. And there's language and all kinds of sexual discussions and stuff. It's not fun for the whole family. Not like 3 Men and a Baby or 2.5 Men at all, Lisa. At all.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I had had a kid at that time that I would want them watching 2.5 Men either, but that's another story.
Yeah. My God, I was shattered to hear on the weekend of Beverly Thompson's passing.
She and I didn't know each other. I know her from the industry and from watching her, but last I had heard she was in remission, and I didn't know she had gotten sick again.
Beverly, who of course hosted Canada AM on CTV and then various different slots as they moved her around as they do there. She's been sick for years and years and years. She's been fighting it since 2003 when she was first diagnosed with breast cancer. And then, of course, it spread all over. And whenever we'd talk about it, she'd just kind of go, oh, yeah. Well, she didn't really want to go into it or any of the poor me or how she was feeling or anything. But she always did show up and shine. She was the consummate professional, but more than that, she was just as sweet and as lovely as she came across on television, and so caring and so warm. And of all the people you think are going to beat cancer, this dreaded, awful disease, I really thought that Bev could outshine it. And damn it, she just did her best, and it's not a failure. Oh, God.
Oh, no,
so
not
sad.
at all.
So
And
sad.
you told me a story some time ago about her hair.
Yes, for many, many years, Bev kept a secret, and she told me about viewer email she got during COVID, and some of it was downright angry. I won't say it was hate mail because it's impossible to write a hate email to Bev Thompson unless there's something seriously wrong with you. But she got an email from a woman, and more than one, saying, "How dare you go and get your hair done during COVID when the rest of us are growing in our roots?" Or look at Lisa LaFlamme going gray. And we all know how that ended for her. And on and on and on. And Beverly said, well, thank you, but it's a wig. And Bev wore a wig, a series of wigs, and she had really beautiful wigs because of her hair loss, because of chemo, because of all of the treatments and drugs and everything she was going through always to fight this cancer. So she wore a wig. And if there isn't a lesson in there, Lisa, to just check yourself when you're judging or being so mean to other people, she was always fighting it.
It's like you have said before, if somebody almost cut you off in traffic, say to yourself, maybe they're rushing to the hospital, or maybe something else is going on. Maybe I don't know the whole story. Otherwise, you might become a victim of my new business, Throat Punches Are Us. Oh. And I will be summoned to the person's house who gives someone grief if they're wearing a wig because they have cancer, and punch them in the throat. That's not very stoic.
It's not stoic, but I think Bev would laugh at that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and she will be missed. There was a great outpouring of sadness and sympathy when she did pass. It's just sad, and she was too young. She was 61. Which to us is very young.
It is.
You mentioned a few names on our Facebook page who had commented on Robert Redford, and one of them was a Patty. I wonder, Lisa, if it was Patty Elizabeth, who bought us 5 coffees.
Thank you so much, Patty. We really appreciate the coffee purchases. It's another way to support the podcast and easy to do. Click on the little coffee at gracefullyandfrankly.com. Send us one, send us 30,000, whatever it is you like.
30,000 coffees. You're a riot, Alice. Thank you, Patty Elizabeth, so much. And don't forget, too, while you're there, we would love your comments on our show to feature your voice. Just go to the little icon down in the bottom right, leave us a message, and we promise that if there's anything you stumble on or you think, oh, that didn't sound good, we'll make it sound good. We don't always with us. When I'm talking about 3.5 babies and 2.5 men and a child in a boat. But it all works out. We'll make it work. Speaking of making it work and making it good, Lisa, just a reminder to you and to everybody that September is Arthritis Awareness Month.
Oh, I'm very aware of my arthritis. Are you?
I don't have any, and I feel so guilty saying that because it's all through my family.
Don't feel guilty.
Well, my sister Leslie has it. My mom had it. My grandmother had it. Her hands were just so gnarled and in pain. But I remember The woman who came up to me and showed me her hand and making a fist, and it wasn't for one of your patented throat punches.
Oh.
She was showing me what Sierra Sil could do. We were in Markham. I remember it now. Opening and closing her hand, and she couldn't do it before.
Wow.
We don't promise miracles, but we do promise you will feel a difference within 14 days of trying these all-natural minerals or your money back. So here's where you find out more.
At their website, sierrasil.com. Sierra like the mountains, SIL.com. And 14% off is yours with the code GF.
So I'm going to see a movie tonight, but don't worry, I'm not cheating on you.
Okay,
No.
good, because we're holding off on the Spinal Tap movie. So what are you going to see?
How interesting is it that we can be so full-rounded that we're excited about Spinal Tap and excited about the Downton Abbey finale movie?
Oh, cool.
Could they be any more different?
Right. I've never seen a Downton Abbey in my life, so.
Oh, Lisa.
I know.
Oh, honey, it's so beautiful. Yeah, going to see Downton Abbey, the movie tonight, which means popcorn for dinner, which is a very exciting thing. But tell me, after the Emmys the other night, are you at least tempted to watch The Pit?
Oh, I've watched it. I've watched a couple episodes. I thought it was fantastic. I really thought it was amazing, but I felt like I'd been on a roller coaster, which of course I had. And it was just more than what I wanted. It could have been the night we watched it. It could have been anything, but I just felt it was just too intense. I watch stuff to relax. You know, my husband is on like round 6 or something of The Mentalist, watching the same ones over and over.
Yes.
It's comfort food for us. So
Yes. Okay.
maybe that's why.
Yeah, I get that. You don't need shards of drama in your macaroni and cheese. I understand that. But Adolescence taking so many Emmys too on Netflix. This is a must-see. It is so incredible, and it's really a heads up to anyone who has children or grandchildren in this age of hate on the internet, hateful podcasters, hateful messages, and the stuff that gets through.
It is pretty scary, but it's so well done. It seems like, well, it is. It's all shot in sequence and all in live time, so it's cool.
Yeah, it really is. So there are some recommendations for us. And lots of Canadian at the Emmys the other night, too, because The Pit is co-created by a Canadian and written by, and then there's Seth Rogen in the studio. He won all kinds of awards. I don't know if I can get past his voice and his laugh and yeah, exactly.
And I think we have a finale this week that is centered in Toronto as well.
What's that?
Twits?
Oh, a finale to the show. You're absolutely right, because it's time for This Week in Totally Stupid or Twits. Rogers.
What?
No,
All of Rogers? Rogers as a whole? Wait, Rogers was very good to us.
yes, that was Ted Rogers. We're talking about Rogers this, Rogers what, Rogers tattooed on my butt.
Oh.
Yes, Rogers is everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's a city that has a Rogers Stadium or a Rogers Arena. But why? Edward Rogers, all the Rogerses, why are there 2 concert venues in Toronto called Rogers? We've got the Rogers Centre.
Which most people will say, I still call it Skydome, but that's not what it's called. It's called
Right.
Rogers Centre, yeah.
Yes. And then there's the Rogers Stadium, which is in Downsview, north of the
Right.
401. And anybody who has any kind of inkling about the layout of Toronto knows that's a heck of a trek.
It is. But anybody who's coming to Toronto and doesn't know it very well might not know the difference.
Exactly, and this has happened repeatedly. Folks who have booked hotels quite purposefully down next to the Rogers Centre and then found out they were going to have to get their butts up to Downsview, either the long schlep from the subway or take an Uber or try and drive, God forbid. And of course, fans of Coldplay found this out, and Chris Martin apologized to fans for everything they'd gone through to get there for 4 shows, and then Oasis last month. It's kind of insane. Can we rename something?
Well, why don't we call Rogers Stadium Eddie's Sideline or something? Isn't it Edward Rogers who's behind all this?
Yeah, Eddie Venue instead of Eddie Vedder. Lisa, I mean, maybe go back to the Skydome or something. Anyway, that's why they're twits.
And they deserve it.
is for
Yes.
having 2 Rogers venues in one city. We get it. You own everything. Just make it easier on people. For once in your telecom life, make anything easier on people, please. Well, it wasn't such a gross show after all, was it, Lisa? We didn't talk about our parts or anybody else's parts or hotel room doors and robes being open or anything.
Not too bad at all for 144.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye for now. Happy house selling.